Hi again, everybody. Welcome to the Let's Reign podcast, in-depth conversations with current and former Bearcats. I'm your host, Dan Hoard. Our guest today is Bearcats royalty. His number 4, retired number 4, hangs on the wall at Fifth Third Arena. So awesome to see Kenyon Martin. You are in your element. You have become a prominent podcaster.
Absolutely.
Does it suit your personality?
I think so, man. First and foremost, thanks for having me. It's a long time coming. Again, right? No, but this is my element now, man. I'm comfortable in front of the camera. Who would have thought, right?
Yeah.
From the first interview in '96, right?
You know, it's a little bit like Bill Walton, honestly. Bill stuttered when he was young. You stuttered when you were young. He became a prominent broadcaster. You become a prominent podcaster. I think that's an interesting parallel, in addition to being two of the great college basketball players of all time.
It's just overcoming fears and certain stigmas, right? You got to stutter. It's a part of you. It's who you are. Doesn't make you a bad person, right? You got this special gift that you have to navigate, and it's like for him to put it aside and be in front of the camera and have your voice be what people know you for, other than playing, is pretty good, man. And I get it now from just had few people from the time I got off to the airport to this morning, like nothing about basketball. Everything is about podcast world now. So it's like I never played.
Does anybody think of you as KJ Martin's dad?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. It's just certain people, like certain age demographic. Yeah, I'm definitely KJ's dad, right?
Well, that's awesome.
It's good.
He's in his 5th NBA season, which is fantastic. He's doing a great job for the 76ers. When you watch him, are you filled with joy or are you filled with nervousness wanting him to be great?
It's some of both. It's some of both. I enjoy watching him play, man. I've always enjoyed watching him play because he plays the right way and he competes. But yeah, no, you always want. You watch the game and I see it from a different lens, of course. So you see the spots that he can be successful, the spots where he can get his thing going and stuff like that. So you try to will it at times, right? But you can't, right? So it's because you're not there, you're not in the situation. But just watching it, man, it's more than all that. I get joy from watching it. Because it's played for 15 years and now you still get to be in it, so to speak, right? So it's rejuvenated my passion for the NBA and basketball.
I was back at my alma mater about a month ago, Syracuse. When I was back on campus, I felt young again. Yeah. Do you get the same feeling when you're back here?
It's changed a lot, of course, being back on campus. But no, yeah, man, just being in this environment and just the energy around college campus, right? It never changes. And no matter what time of year, no matter what it is, it never changes, especially this place, because it's no other thing like it around here, right? It's got Ohio State, which is far, right? You got Kentucky, University of Kentucky, it's far, right? But there's nothing like this around here, right? It's not like it's the Duke, Carolina, Wake Forest, all that right in the same. So it's not that, right? So you got that energy that never changes. So no, it's always great to come back.
Let's go down memory lane a little bit. Is it true that you might have gone to Temple if John Chaney didn't practice at 5 a.m.?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you, Coach Chaney, for early morning practices.
It was a turnoff. Like it was lit.
That was
nothing else he said. What, like, I don't care about playing hard. I don't care about you being on. None of that mattered, right? And my niece, she's grown now, of course, she was a child at the time. And when he said it, like the 5 a.m. practice, and I started playing with my niece. Like, I lost interest immediately.
Break out the Legos. We're doing something.
Started playing with her, right? I lost interest immediately. I'm just like, who plays basketball at that hour? Like, I couldn't fathom it. I was 18 at the time.
Yeah.
You talking to an 18-year-old talking about playing basketball before the sun comes up. Who?
Not you.
Nah, I couldn't do it. Like I really, it was. And had just decisions that you make and things like that. Didn't know what was going to come from the UC situation, of course. I was willing to go to junior college and things like that rather than to get up at 5 and practice, right? So that says a lot. It says a lot.
Great man, Hall of Fame coach.
Absolutely.
Might have gone to a Final Four if he didn't practice at 5 a.m.
Hugs tried it one year, early practice, and I told him, you got a hard time getting kids to go to class now.
Yeah.
Right? You got a hard time getting us to go now. Do it at 6. The way we practice, ain't nobody gonna be in class. What happened?
Yeah, he listened to you.
Did nobody go to class? No, he tried. Did nobody go to
Okay.
class? Now you want to make us run? Like, no, that don't work.
Yeah.
I told you. Your
Let's just
fault.
practice at a normal time.
Your fault. Let's keep this thing at 3, right? 3 to 6. We ain't got no problem. Ain't nobody ever been late. Ain't nobody 3 to 6.
What were your early impressions of him before you came here?
Just tough coach, man. Just saw him from afar. No real interaction, really, until he sat in my living room, right? Just what you've heard and what I've seen from the few games that we could get being in Dallas, right? Just that he coached hard and he had been successful.
Did your mom and sister like him?
Yeah, of course, yeah. My mom from day one, and my sister, honesty from him. He didn't come in trying to sell us a dream, trying to sell me on this and that. He was honest, right? It's not going to be easy, but we got a way. If you believe in me, I believe in you, and we can make it happen. And I'm not promising you anything but a hard time and a pair of tennis shoes. Cool.
He
Let's
lived
go.
up to that promise.
Let's
That's
go.
for sure.
Right? At that age, at that time, that was all I just needed some assurance, right? That I had somewhere where I could go. So it was great. It was great for me and me graduating and 2 weeks later.
You told me once that your fondest UC memory was not one of the triple doubles, not the famous comeback game against DePaul your senior year. It was the first day you were allowed to practice because you weren't academically eligible at first. On your birthday, your freshman year, you found out that you'd passed the ACT, and that moment was the best for you.
Yeah, that moment, man, it was like draft day. To be honest, it was, because you had put this time in, and education for me and studying wasn't at the top of the list. There's a lot of other things that in my life at the time trumped homework and studying and so he just did, right?
Sure.
Life and obstacles and things like that. So for me to overcome that part of it, put the time in, and then now knowing that I can play, right? No, it didn't get no better than that, right? I didn't know what it was going to be, but I was here now, right? I was a student athlete, and I made it, right? From my environment, from where I came from, you didn't see anything like this. Guys go away and then they come back home. They go away for 6 months or a semester or a year, academic scholarship, whatever level of college it was, and they back home. Right, and I didn't want to be that, right? I didn't want to be here and then it don't work out. Now I'm back in Dallas trying to figure it out. Now I'm the 6'8", 6'9" guy working at Walmart, right? Didn't want to be that. So when found out I was eligible, it was, like I said, it was drafted. It was a sigh of relief. It was a moment that I wasn't go let slip away.
But before that, you took a bus home, right?
Oh, I flew home actually. So like I said before, I was here. I graduated high school, and 2 weeks later, I was in Cincinnati. Hadn't really been away from home like that. Didn't know nobody here. Hugs and them go to Europe.
Team trip to Europe.
Team trip to Europe. Incoming
can't go.
freshman can't go. I'm not eligible for one. Incoming freshman can't go.
Right.
I'm in Cincinnati by myself. I don't know a soul. They got me a little job, a little summer job you can get, and I'm studying for this test. I'm miserable. Staying with people I don't know.
They're students or?
Students,
Yep.
but I don't know them.
Yep.
They're not student athletes at the time. They're just students. I don't know them. No interaction with nobody. I saved up a couple of dollars from the job they gave me. They had me, and I bought a plane ticket home. I bought a one-way ticket home.
I always heard it was a bus, so
No,
at least you got to fly.
Oh no, I flew home. I flew home.
So,
and then,
so you wind up back home. What do your mom and sister say?
Oh, they was one like I didn't tell them that the team in Europe.
I see. They thought you might have just been visiting.
Team in Europe, right? The team on the basketball trip, incoming freshman can't go. I'm not gonna tell them I just left, right? They come back from Europe, hugging them, they looking for them. So I guess, I forget the gentleman's name who I was studying with the test. I guess he calling them, and Kenyon ain't been here, right? They're like, how long it's been? 6-7 days now, I ain't seen him. So he hugs them, come back, they call my sister and my mom, and I'm like, yo, he's here. Like, well, there's a plane ticket waiting for him at the airport. They went and dropped me back off at the airport.
They have to twist your arm, or were you ready to go back?
I wasn't as eager when I graduated, because I'm saying you put me in a situation where you're uncomfortable and you don't know nobody. I wasn't expecting to come here and not be around the basketball team, not know nobody. Now, that's the furthest thing from my thought process at the time. They didn't tell me this, right? I'm gonna drop you off and leave you, right? I'm gonna abandon you, right? Like, this not going too well. 18 years old, so now my incomplete thoughts as an 18-year-old got the better of me, and I took my ass home, man.
Thankfully, you came back. You got to play second half of your freshman year, and it was just a bundle of athleticism and excitement and shot blocking and racing up and down the court, but didn't have much of an offensive game at that point. I mean, you were just like a live wire thrown in there. Yes,
that's how I got the scholarship. I didn't do nothing different for Hugs to be like, No, I was just an athlete, man, and I showed up, right? No matter where it was, no matter who was on the other team, I showed up always. And I think that's what attracted Hugs. So that's what I did when I got in the game my freshman year, right? That's what I did in practice, first couple of practices. This is who I am, right? I'm an athlete, and I use it to the best of my ability, right? Wasn't going to be out here shooting jump shots and all that because I hadn't worked on it. Didn't know how. It wasn't told to me in high school, this is what I need to work on. People let me be who I was, right? And it was good. It was my freshman year from what my ability was. He got the best out of it, right? Spot minutes here, there. If you needed me to go and defend a guy, put me in there like Gerald Honeycutt situation. So yeah, no, it was a situation that he put me in to let me know that I was okay, right? Didn't know what it was gonna be after that, but for me to be out there with the guys, and it was a wonderful feeling, man.
Started to change in your sophomore year. Big breakout game against DePaul. I had the privilege to broadcast it. It's one of my greatest memories, honestly. 24 points, 23 rebounds, 10 block shots. Anthony Buford and I were going crazy on Fox 19. It was great. Was that a big moment for you that said, okay, I've got a chance to be special?
No, no, man.
Just playing
basketball, man. Like none of it. All this was. I wasn't supposed to be here. Like none of this was thought about, dreamt about, focused in on as a child. Like none of I wasn't supposed to be here.
Because everything was so tough.
Yeah,
life was tough.
If you don't have any success stories to point at, to tangible stuff that you can be like, I want to be like that, or I want to be. How?
Yeah.
Right, really how? So, just playing basketball my sophomore year, man. Right? Honoring this scholarship, got this man over here that don't play, And I'm just hooping, right? There's no didn't know nothing else. Go out and play hard. That's it. Like and that's all that was, man. Like the numbers were great. Like after the fact that people was like 24, 23, and 10, like it's a big deal. Okay. Right, and that was really the feeling, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm used to blocking shots, I'm used to doing that, but yeah, to do it on this stage in college and it was I guess for a lot of people it was an eye opener. For me, it was just really another day at the office, to be honest.
Without that roadmap to success as a kid, would you have succeeded to the extent that you succeeded somewhere else, or was the combination of Hug's tough love and Cincinnati's vibe exactly what you needed to bring out the best in you?
Yeah, because he didn't put a muzzle on me or leash, so to speak. Well, some coaches have someone like got in a fight one of my first few practices. Like one handful of practices maybe, got in a fist fight. And he didn't scold me for it. And it was an eye opener, right? Like I could be me around here. And that's what it was, man. Like it was, he didn't try to, oh nah, like you can't be doing that around, like suspend me or kick me out of practice or none of the above. So you have somebody like that, man, in your corner, you do it like it's on, right? And for my freshman year, then being like my sophomore year, having that from him, it was easy, man. Like for me just to go out and just hoop and play basketball and just be athletic and tougher than everybody, right? You just got that belief, man, that just go.
Let me fast forward to another possible breakthrough moment.
Yeah.
We'll see if this one fits that description. Team USA, after your junior year, you go to Spain, win the gold medal, you're the best player on the team. Did you even think you were going to make the team?
No. The short answer to that is no. But you know, the USA trials, they bring certain guys in to fill the practice squad.
Sure.
So I thought I was one of those guys. We need guys to come in for the roster. He's a big athletic. We got our guys who we think supposed to be the top whatever in college basketball next year. So, and my junior year didn't go the best. Like people, I haven't told it, but people know I had turf toe almost the whole year, right? My left, and I had to play with a metal plate in my shoe. Like, so it was.
Yeah, I don't even think you averaged 7 rebounds that year, so that's why.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
Couldn't jump, couldn't have no lift, right? Pete led us in rebounding and scoring, so that's. So junior didn't go the best, right? So wasn't expecting to make this team, go out to Colorado Springs, make the first cut. All right. Go to Dayton, make the second cut. Now it's the team that's going to Spain. I'm like, I bet. So I'm looking around, it's just, and like I told you before, I show up, right? There's no thought process to it. There's no, I'm going to be better than this guy. I'm going to dominate you. No. Throw the ball up, roll it out, however you want to get it going, let's get it going, and we're going to see what comes from it. And like you said, I led that team in scoring and rebounding, who was supposed to have been the best 12, 13, 14 guys in college basketball. Of course, some guys didn't make a team, but this is supposed to have been the cream of the crop. And for me to go out there and do that on that stage and win a gold medal in a tough environment and with Pete on the team and stuff like that, because he played well our junior year, right? So that was the light bulb moment. Because I inquired about the draft after my junior year. They need to see more offensively from me. Prime time right now to display what I've been working on. And when I got back to Cincinnati after Spain, that's the, and no one could tell you this better than Terrence Davis, right? If you ever get to talk to TD, ask TD.
Why him? Did you work with him on your shot? He was the guy?
Yeah, he was getting ready to go back overseas, right? because he was older, a few years older than me, of course, and we had a relationship. We had a close relationship. To this day, we still do. But he was my workout guy. He was my hype man as a freshman, right? Me as a freshman, he tell a story, Danny pump faking, and I'm blocking Danny's shot 3 straight times, and he like, yo, because we was on the second team together, right? So him being that for me, and every day, like we would go out or something, I call him, man, get up, it's time to, like, so me being on him and in that regard, like him not having to call me to put me in the gym, and probably one of them situations where I didn't touch the rim. I didn't dunk the basketball at all. I just shot jump shots and jump hooks and different things like that before my senior year, and it was daily, like daily. And that's when I worked hard before that point on other aspects of myself and my game, but not to that extent, right? And my senior year was, like you said, it showed, man. The work that I had put in, I was already bigger and stronger, more athletic than everybody. So now you add this element to it, the game is easy now. Right? It was easy before because how we played here. Like, that is really easy.
Deadly from like 17 feet and in your senior year, hook shot with either hand, good from the free throw line. I mean, all of these things were not part of the bag when you first got here, so that had to be really gratifying that suddenly you're that guy.
Putting that time in, man. Yep. And then you start getting validations of things and coming around and going around the city and the bookstores and different places, and you seeing your face, posters, and you on the schedule now, the little folding pocket schedule now, they got your picture on the outside of that. So it's different things like that, man, that gives you even more confidence, right? To not to want to fail. So yeah, man, I've never been the pick up the paper guy and read clips or turn on Sports Center at the end of the night to see highlights. I know what I did. I know if I played well, if I know if I didn't, and the people in the arena let me know, right? So you getting daily 13,176 in this joint rocking, man. Like,
good recall of the capacity. Well done.
Right? Consistently sold out for 4 years. Then my senior year, we all doing it, but I'm a big part of that, right? So yeah, you get confidence in that. You gain confidence in when your name is called and people go crazy.
Since that year, I think Hug's favorite banquet story ever since has been the DePaul game. Down by 17, he's ticked off in a huddle. He says, all right, you guys, nobody takes a shot until Kenyon at least touches the ball. That's what happened, right?
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah, no, he said, yeah, so we're going to play through Kenyon, right? Pete was suspended, didn't play. We're going to play through Kenyon. And I think I heard him shoot it every time, right? We're going to throw it in and shoot it. But no, I mean, it was one of them, like, you had, up to that point, it was established who team it was, right? So to hear that, we're down, like, this is what it's
against a good team.
Against a really, really good team, a lot of pros, right? A lot of people in that building. Pros on the other team, pros on our side, scouts. Lord knows who was in the building. Dick Vitale doing the game.
That's right.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal in college basketball. Yeah, like I said, I guess Quentin Richardson, who just got Player of the Year in the conference the year before. You know, they got pros on their side. So yeah, man. Full display of everything that I had worked on came out in one moment.
And then the famous punchline to the story is you guys rally from the deficit, you tie the game, Jermaine Tate steals the ball,
Absolutely.
passes to freshman DeMar Johnson. He's 15 feet away, great shooter, and he doesn't know what to do because he's looking for you. He's supposed to pass you the ball, even though he's got an opportunity for a game-winning shot, which he takes and makes.
I yell at him and shoot it, right? Because I got to go get opposite, right? The thing. So this is how we are programmed playing for Bob Huggins, right? Take it to steal, passes to me. I pass to DJ. DJ not looking for me. I'm like, shoot it, because I'm trying to go get opposite. So Hugs had this thing, the ball shot from over here, you got to get opposite. I'm trying to go get opposite just in case he misses it. Got enough time, just in case he misses it, I'm going to get opposite.
Yep.
So you see, I pass and I take. Yeah, he made it, man. So for a freshman to be on that stage, and yeah, I could easily win the shot, but it would have been a selfish play probably. And it probably wouldn't have been the wrong play because of what was said in the huddle. But no, it was the right basketball play, man, and yeah, no, it was that moment, right? That I think, and I'm pretty sure, like I showed people that it was any doubt from anyone that it was real.
This coming March will be 25 years since you broke your leg in the conference tournament. Do you think about it? Do you feel cheated? What are your memories these years later?
Yes. That's not something you get over. All these years later, it's still cringe. Like, I'm getting chills as we talk about it, right? Took me years to watch it. The actual injury, it took me years. Like I never wanted to see it. Because I couldn't, like, that emotion of it and what was at stake. Didn't get no bigger. It's for all the marbles, right? It's for everything. Everything is on the line. Everything in that moment, it was so, but yeah, and Mateen Cleese is the only person that I think I follow from that team on Instagram and stuff like that. So anytime he posts anything about the championship, I say something every time.
You wouldn't have won.
I put asterisks every time. I don't say nothing, but I don't put no words. I don't say one word. Yeah. It's all asterisks.
Just asterisks.
That's it. There's nothing else to say.
I'm with you.
There's nothing else to say because we all know, man. Like, y'all beat up on a bunch of freshmen. No. So I'm not over that. I don't think I ever will be. I don't think the fans of the University of Cincinnati will ever be. I don't think Bob Huggins will ever be over it. Nobody else was involved with the situation, man.
When you see another athlete suffer an injury like that late in a season or in a key moment, are you sympathetic? Are you tempted to reach out?
Then I always feel bad for guys, man, that when things happen in certain, like, the Kevin Ware's kid, Paul George, there's a few more people, man, that things that happen similar in game. It makes my stomach turn, man. Because you know, and that's my only in-game injury.
NBA included?
NBA, like something of that, I've never. Everything else I've had I got my nose broke, but nothing of I can play again, right? Nothing in game to where other than like sprained ankles, never broken anything, never ACL, Achilles, like nothing ever. That's the only time that I've got hurt in a game. High school, ever.
Your pain tolerance is a little different than most.
Yeah, of course, but sprained ankles and twisted stuff like that, you break a finger, you can play. It's stuff like I broke, but nothing that would hinder me from playing. That's the only time, right? And for it to go down in that nature, it's tough.
No doubt.
Tough to, because it is, if not the biggest, one of the biggest what if stories ever.
Sure.
In sports. Damn college basketball, but in sports. Because you have to, like, you can't talk about that season of college basketball and not end in a what if. You can't. However you want to narrate, however what story you want to tell about it, it's incomplete.
Yeah, there's no what if story in college basketball to compare rather in the last 25 years.
Yeah, right. It's just, like I said, it's one of, if not, I'm saying, so it's never gonna go away.
You were so composed afterward. I marvel to this day. You returned to the bench on crutches. You're in the locker room after the game answering every question from reporters. Were you trying to lift everybody else by how you held yourself up?
It's really naive. I knew, like I said, I probably was still in shock, to be honest, man. To be like the way I probably was still in shock. And for me to come back to the game, it was all about the guys, though, in that moment. It was all about the team, right? I'm rushing the people at the hospital. Hey, hurry up. Like, I'm done. Like, we know I can't play. Put a cast on, let me get back to the game so I can go support my guys. Let them know I'm good. Probably shouldn't have came back out there. They didn't do them no good.
Kind of had the opposite.
Opposite. Like,
it's like, oh no, we're not going to have this guy back. Yeah.
Oh, he's done.
Yeah.
Right? For them to see me out there, and like, oh, he's done. Right? It probably wasn't.
Your heart was in the right place.
It definitely was. Definitely was in the right place, but it was one of them, like I was really trying to be there for them, right? Because they looked up to me. Like, a lot of them dudes that they had, a lot of us, me, Fletch, Tate, like, a lot of us had been there together in it. Then you had the new guys and Lenny who looked up to me, and Steve, Logue had been there for a couple of years. You had Sat and DJ, and so it was a dynamic of some everything, right? So for that not to be there anymore, for the younger guys, it's big brother not here no more. For the older guys, my brother not here no more. So it's, yeah, I get it. Like, but it was a thing, man. Like, it was probably, as far as like disappointments and letdowns in my life, it ranks up there. There's been a lot of things going on before that, but you throw that in there, yeah, it's up there.
So Selection Sunday's a few days later. Hugs calls us at Fox 19 and says, can you get a coffin? I'd like to pop out of a coffin and say we're not dead yet. Do you remember that?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Everything.
We got video of him popping out of a coffin.
I heard that. I wasn't around. I was in a horrible place mentally, and physically we know what it was, but I wasn't no good.
So the draft is less than 4 months later. I don't know that I've ever asked you about that period between the injury and the draft. I mean, obviously you recovered to the extent that you're the number 1 overall pick. Were you, grinding to show these teams that, you'd be back, or just have to let it heal?
I was non-weight bearing for 2 months. So people don't, so the first surgery, so Dr. Colosimo did the first surgery, had to put a screw in it, my ankle. Screw popped out, had to go get another surgery. So they put a stronger screw in it. So I had a cast on for 8 weeks. Crutches, cast for 8 weeks. So that's from March to end of May.
Draft's late June.
Get the cast off, go to the Chicago. Everybody is teams. We had to stop certain teams from coming in that was out of certain range of picks, because it was like guinea pig stuff at this point. Like, no, we're not finna just, every team is not finna just come in here and want to look at my ankle. What pick you have? No, we're not gonna be there. What pick you have? No, we're not gonna be there.
Yeah.
So it was that. The synopsis was that I had to, that the screw needed to come out. Screws out, still got, now rehab starts. So this is another. So I wasn't doing anything really before the draft. Went to visit Orlando, trying to do some stuff with them with the trades, the picks they had. And went to visit Vancouver, and the Nets. That was it. Like, Stu Jackson was with Vancouver at the time, and his message to me was, they had the second pick. If the Nets do something crazy by not picking you, you won't get past us at 2.
Okay, so at least you know.
I knew, so I had that in my back pocket, right? Of course, you want to be number 1 pick, but honestly, I didn't care. To be blatantly honest, you want to be the number 1 pick, but I didn't care, man. I just dealing with over here, trying to play again, right? This is cool. Pick me, you don't pick me. Somebody gonna pick me.
Yeah.
So it's that, right? But nah, it was stressful, but I was out of the way, right? I wasn't going to teams. I wasn't every weekend, every 3-4 days a week. I'm 17, 18 different teams. So I didn't know. It wasn't none of that, right? Dan Fagan, God rest his soul, at the time, he was my agent at the time, did a great job at picking and choosing and talking to whoever you need to talk to and make sure that it was the right teams and the right people. Yeah, I wasn't, like I said, I was going to, no matter what.
Nets picked you first, had a 15-year career, all-star, back-to-back NBA finals, tremendous success story in the NBA. Was it all you hoped it would be? I mean, I know you would have liked a championship, but that doesn't work out for everybody.
Yeah, it was a few things throughout the time that you wish you could control and change. One of them being not leaving Jersey after 4 years. Something great there. But other than that, man, I had a blast. I enjoyed myself. Was making a king's ransom playing a kids game.
Well put.
Right? Play basketball for free. Right? Had done it. Loved every minute of it. Right? Playing for free. But to be on the biggest stage from what you saw as a child, and for this never to be something that you wanted it to be. Never had a dream as a kid of playing in the NBA. Never thought that I'm going to be this. So for me to achieve that, and not just to achieve it, to thrive in it, to be an all-star, to make it to the finals and play against some of the best players that's ever played this game. 15. Storybook stuff, man.
There are a handful of athletes who have the reputation of being somebody that you don't mess with. Ray Lewis, young Mike Tyson, I mean, I could name a handful of them. You're on that list. Cover of Sports Illustrated says bad boy. Do you like that reputation?
I earned it. No, I earned it. It's just from how you play first and foremost, and certain things that happen during the time, right? And how you handle it and how people perceive you. But it's the first thing is how you approach your craft, though, right? If I didn't play the way I did, if Ray Lewis didn't play the way he did, if Mike Tyson didn't approach the way he did, none of that would have been feasible, right? For people to even come up with the narrative of that. But yeah, at times it could have been a detriment, but I'm a firm believer in that fear lasts longer than love. So that's the way I've I'm wired. Or I've been wired, right? People tend to hold on things that they fear, right?
I think you said at some point, the teams I play for love me. The teams I play against dislike me or hate me, whatever. That's something I think that every player would like to say or have said about them.
Yeah, but the people that you play, they respect you.
Right.
Right? Because if you were on a team, it's not like you just one of them guys that can just pass by. Right? So people ask me, right, about fans and picture taking and autographs and people stopping me speaking, this, that, and the third. And people are like, man, it has to be annoying, it has to get on your nerves, it has to be this, and da 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 da. I'm like, no. And when I say no, it's like, so I have to elaborate when I say no, I mean I did something right. Right, whether it was the opposing team or my, whatever it is, that means I did something right.
100%.
So you have to, I accept it, right? I accept the people walking down the street at the grocery store, buying coffee, at the car dealership, at the kids' school that first time seeing me and be like, hey man, you one of the last real, man, you played, you did it, like, it's like, I'm a such and such fan, but, right? This morning at the hotel, gentleman, him and his wife, Xavier alum, this, that, and the third, but I respect you, I love you, right? This is
the day before the shootout.
Right, day before the shootout, right? But it's
the ultimate compliment.
Right, but it's at each level, right? It's from college to the pros. It was just my approach, and I wouldn't change it. It's the environment I grew up in. Me playing for Bob Huggins, all of it, and just me being who I am is this recipe for success or whatever you want to call it, right? I accept it. And like I said, to walk down the street, man, if people recognize that part, said I never won a championship, one-time All-Star, didn't make first team All-NBAs, none of these things, but I get just as much respect and love from people in cities that I never played in, right? So that's the validation.
Things got a little rocky between you and UC after Coach Huggins was dismissed. How was that repaired? Is it just time?
Time, growth. Holding people accountable, and not just the university. Hugs as well. I'm saying, speaking of hugs, me growing up, right? Was the ultimatum and all that stuff right at the time? No. Right? Should they have done that to him? No. But both things can exist at the same time, right? He could have been better to avoid the situation that was, right? It all could have been, but I still stand on you don't do that to him, right? There's another way you go about it. So, but no, this university is near and dear to me, right? It gave me opportunity, got me out of my situation I was in Dallas, the environment I was in. So no matter what happened, no matter what the situation was with Hugs at the time, my number was still hanging in the rafters, right? And they wouldn't take it down. No matter what I said, no matter what I had, they wouldn't. So that meant something, right? They respected the time and the things that I did here while I was here. So that meant something.
What do you think of Coach Miller and his efforts to return Cincinnati to national prominence?
Oh, you got it from where it's been. You have to A+, right? From day one when he got the job to reaching out to former players, which no one has done before, to wanting people to be on board with the situation because he's heard the gripes and the rumblings of how things have been with the hiring process and different things, so for him to do that and not to ask for anything, just give him the opportunity to prove it, right? So you got to respect that. And coming around and being around him, talking to him now, the enthusiasm, his knowledge of the game. It's heading in the right direction. It's trending in the right direction, and the city and the university needs that, right? They need that success. They need to be relevant again in college basketball, right? I'm a firm believer in football and college football. Certain universities, it just doesn't seem right not talking about them when you're talking about the sport. And I feel the same way about UC in college basketball, right? You can't, it's not complete conversations if you're not talking about us. So I think Wes is doing an excellent job of getting us back to that. No shade or disrespect to the other shoe companies that we've had over the years, but
Jordan stuff looks good.
Jordan stuff looks good, man, and it's a selling point. It's a selling point for kids, right? To be able to sit in your living room with that. I ain't gonna say that's the first thing you lead with, but it means something. So, and for us to be a part of that when it first started, and for it to be back there now, it's only gonna help. Being in the Big 12 helps, recruiting and different things like that. So, I'm excited for where it's going, and Wes is doing an excellent job at spearheading this thing in the right direction.
Going to wrap this up by thanking you, first and foremost, for 4 years of unbelievable memories, but also for what you meant to my career, because I think having the privilege of broadcasting your games when I did helped put me on the map in Cincinnati, and obviously my time here has worked out wonderfully for me. So thank you for that personally, but on behalf of all Bearcat fans, thank you for all you've meant to our university.
Pleasure's mine, man. I was just here to do what I was brought here to do, man. And if that, your enthusiasm and knowledge of the game, me going back and listening now, you did the excellent job, man. I'm glad I could be a part of it.
Thank you.
I'm glad I can be a part of it, man.
Thank you so much for checking out the Let's Rain podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe.